continuation of the SML tutorial, and based on the request of one of the viewers, we will be looking at the let in function in the SML, that is in the synthetic um, meta language. So essentially, looking at these examples, the let function, the let keyword, is used to define a variable, a local variable within a function. So, for instance, in these examples, you have two functions. You have a function called double, and you have the other function called duplicate double. The function double takes an argument x, and it has it. The function double duplicate double takes the argument x and y, and what it does is it returns a list. Is a list of what? It returns a list of a tuple. This is a tuple, two tuples. So of where the first element is the double of x, and the second element is the double of y, and the same thing for the second tuple. So what the let construct, which is a keyword in SML, helps us to do is, instead of us calling this external function double 4 times here, we will just use the let to call that function just once and put it in a variable, like a temporary variable. Then we can just now use the variable every time. So when we use the variables in the function definition, in the function body, then this external function double that is being called is only called once for A and also once for B. So because we're just applying it x and y, that's just what it avoids. It helps us to avoid multiple calls by storing the call just once. It's just like memoization. If you have heard anything about in dynamic programming, where you have memoization, you just store a particular result in a variable, which you know that result you often need it in subsequent computations. So let's go into the coding part and see how this works in coding. So first we demonstrate the double, which is what we have in here. So it takes x and it gives us x plus x, and then that is our double. So now if I call double on 7, what do we expect? We expect it to give us 14. Alright, so now I now have another function called duplicate double. So and that takes x and y. So and what it does is it's returning a function that contains two tuple. So this is calling double x, and it's calling double y. Okay, and so this is this, and the second one is double x, and we have double y. So in other words, actually duplicating the x and the y. That's just what it's doing, and it's returning as a tuple. So this ends the function. So as you can see, the function is returning a list. It's taking in an int, the first int, the second int, which is y, and this one is the result after the equals to, which is taking work, and it is returning a list, and the list is a tuple that has int and int. Okay, so let's now see that. So what we now do is so let's call the double. So we call the double, and let's say x is 4 and y is 5. So what do we expect? So we expect to give us what? It should give us a list containing 8, 10, 8, 10. So that's what we expect. So exactly. So it contains a list. So 8, 10. So it's a list, and inside it is a tuple. It's a tuple that of int. Okay. So we can see that. So instead of us now rewriting the whole of this function now, just this way. So what we can just do is we will just now use the let keyword. So we can now say function. So we now want to say the double, which takes in x and y, and so we now use the let. So the let will help us to declare the variable. So let val a equals to, so we are now calling our external function. So we're calling it here. Okay, so the syntax requires that we put in semicolon there because we are calling that function. So then the second one too is the val is using the other variable. So we have double, and that is y, and so we will now use that in what? In the main function. So this is the function body. So we have a, we have b, and we have a, we have b, and this ends that. Then it requires us to put in an end and a colon. So all this one, this end, in, let, that's the format when you want to use let. First of all, you start with let, and you declare your temporary variables like a and b. Then you follow with in. That's where your function body, what you have here is the same thing as what you have in here, and you end with the end. Okay, so you can have that. So it creates that for us. So when we call the double, you will discover. So let's say we put 8 and 9, 8 and 9. So that will give us what? 16, 18, 16, 18. Okay, so that's exactly what it does. So internally, the impact of the let is in the running time of the function. So if you want to see how much this does, is when we put in a running time, the start time and the end time, and we compare that with this. So you will discover that this actually runs faster, because these ones, every time it will keep calling the function. It will keep calling. It will call this function 4 times here, but in this case it will call the function just once, so meaning 2 times. So that's that. Let me know if you have any question on it, and I will be more than happy to help clarify more. Thank you and good luck. Bye.